Good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for allowing me the privilege to be here. My name is Scott Macdonald. I'm a Business Development Manager with Noel Barton up in Atlanta, Georgia. And before we get into T-Mobile means business, I'd like to just ask you all quickly, what do you all currently know about T-Mobile? Can you all give me just some quick insight? Anything? Okay?
Good customer service.
Good customer service, absolutely.
Carly's cute.
Carly's cute. We'll talk about Carly in just a few.
Not business-oriented.
Not business-oriented?
Correct.
Okay, interesting. We'll get into that in just a few as well. Anyone else?
Love the motorcycle.
Love the motorcycle. All right, well, we'll touch on all those things. We're going to be actually touching on quite a bit more that you're going to see that we actually are built for businesses. One thing I try to tell everybody before we get started is this is our story. And yes, we're very excited about this story. When it's all said and done, our story is just that. It's just a hill of beans difference to you until it becomes your personal experience. When the story becomes your personal experience, you're going to be as excited as we are about this story, and then you're going to be our best advertising vehicle we have. Because you're going to be so excited to tell everybody out there about T-Mobile and how we are built for business. And then, that's what's going to transform T-Mobile's market reality. Can I ask by a show of hands, who has seen The Dark Knight Rises? Okay, we got one. Anyone else seen Dark? Two? Okay. In one word, how would you describe? Three, maybe? How would you describe The Dark Knight Rises?
Best version of all of them.
Best version of all of them.
Powerful.
Powerful. Anybody else seen it? Okay. Powerful, best one of all of them. Now, did you tell anybody about Dark Knight Rises after you saw the movie?
Everybody I came in contact with.
Everybody came in contact with. Interesting. How about you? Did you talk to anybody about the movie afterwards?
Yep.
Okay. If you don't mind me picking you out, what did you think of The Dark Knight Rises?
I've not seen it.
Not seen it. Okay. So, what are your thoughts about Dark Knight Rises?
Just the unfortunate incident that happened in Colorado.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was disappointing how that played out, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
But any desire to see the film?
Yeah, still.
But it doesn't really mean a hill of beans difference to you, does it?
Correct.
Exactly, because you haven't experienced it for yourself. Same principle applies to T-Mobile. Until you experience something for yourself, it really doesn't matter what we say or what we don't say. So let's get into this and show you some exciting things about how other businesses are using this as their experience. And now it's transforming that market reality. As far as the wireless world is concerned, they said in just a few short years, by 2015, they're expecting 1.3 billion people to be in the mobile workforce. It's actually more than that. That's just in the mobile workforce. Yeah, that's a pretty staggering number. As you add all those people, they're going to have a greater need for data consumption. And that's where the trend is going. Everyone is wanting more and more and more data. As a matter of fact, I believe it was over 80% of all phones that were sold in the first quarter of this year, all smartphones. Well, they're not getting that just to make phone calls. They're getting that to actually acquire data. They need real-time information. As a matter of fact, I joke around with people. It's funny, there's some people probably in this room who can't start their day without a cup of coffee. Would you say that's true? Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. We all know those people. And then, even in our office, I know there's a couple of people, they can't go without 2 hours without having a little smoke break. They need a little cigarette break. Well, now we got a word going in the dictionary for next year called nomophobia. Does anyone know what nomophobia means by chance? It's the fear of being out of mobile contact. So now you have a group of people, over 1.3 billion to be exact, they're going to probably be waking up saying, where's my phone? Because now people use their phones as alarm clocks. They immediately check emails when they get up out of bed. I mean, we all know these people. And so imagine if you have all those people using data consumption, well, that's going to start jamming up the highways, because that's what spectrum management is. It's just a fancy word for data and voice capacity. It's a super highway, kind of like I-4 and I-275 right here in this area. And I think you probably all agree, because I know in Atlanta, there's times where the highways are wide open. There's times where the highways are jam-packed. You're not going anywhere. And so we had some exciting things happen recently with AT&T. We'll talk about the merger that didn't go through. But one of the deals with that is that we acquired spectrum from AT&T. We also had a spectrum swap with Verizon. You probably heard of that company as well. Exciting news for T-Mobile's network, how we're increasing the lanes in our highway to make a more pleasant data experience for everybody. And then we're going to be launching something here we're going to talk about soon called LTE, so I'm excited to share that with you as well. Now, as far as the bigger picture is concerned, we just talked about the nationwide snapshot. I actually was cold calling the company about 3 weeks ago, and they said, thank you very much for your call. Call us back in about a year, because right now we're sticking with Verizon. We really rely on them for international coverage. So I had a knee-jerk reaction. I said, I'm sorry, quick question for you. Could you please tell me who owns T-Mobile? Do you know? He said, no, I have no idea. And I said, well, it's a company called Deutsche Telekom. He said, well, that doesn't sound very English. And I said, it's not English, it's German. As a matter of fact, They have headquarters in Germany, and they have huge infrastructure, not only in Europe, in Germany, but also in the United States. They're the third largest carrier in the entire world, and that's who we are affiliated with. 224 active networks, 110 different countries. If you notice here, 129 million mobile customers, and 71 billion in profits, which about 25% of that came from us here in the US, $18 billion. So the question everyone had when the merger didn't go through with AT&T is, well, how healthy is T-Mobile? I mean, I heard you all going out of business in 2 or 3 years. Well, let's take a look at that. We actually made more money, twice as much as Starbucks, and that's pretty exciting. How many Starbucks cups do we see here? I don't see any here now, but I can promise you in our office, they're all over the desks. And as a matter of fact, they're building a Starbucks office location right outside our door. Literally, I'm not kidding. And so if you look closely, you see a Starbucks cup, just look for a phone and see what it says on the top. It'll probably say T-Mobile. It's all said and done. You separate us from Deutsche Telekom. We rank 138th in the Fortune 500. Not bad for an unhealthy company that's going to go out of business in 2 or 3 years. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, I think so. As a matter of fact, Advertising Age called us, they call us a mega brand. You know, we advertise more and spend than Honda or Budweiser did. And don't tell me we all see Budweiser ads every 5 seconds when we're watching football on Saturday and Sunday. So, as far as the Fortune 500 companies out there, what I love about this is that nearly 50%, it's 247 to be exact, but nearly 50% of all the Fortune 500 companies are using T-Mobile. What does that mean? That means it covers all the industries. That means we can provide solutions that are customized to every single industry out there, whether it be finance, whether it be automotive, whether it be retail, whether it be technology, whether it be transportation, whether it be energy. We got it covered. And then you look at this part, the 9 out of 10, 90%, of the top 10 companies in the Fortune 500, they see T-Mobile as a valued partner. In my opinion, it's because of the formula that we have. It's cutting-edge technology, plus the amazing value that we offer, equals that tremendous experience we're talking about. And again, that's what shapes market reality. Bottom line, if they can trust us, we're confident you can trust us with your business as well. I love this. I'm a firm believer in pioneers. Pioneers are never forgotten. Who can tell me who sailed the ocean blue in 1492?
Christopher Columbus.
Thank you very much, Chris. Exactly. What was the name of the brothers that first discovered flight in the early 1900s? Wright brothers. And then who was the man who landed on the moon in 1969? Neil Armstrong. Once again, pioneers are never forgotten. As a matter of fact, they're looked upon as leaders. And that's what we show here with this particular slide. One of my complaints and frustrations, to be perfectly honest with you about T-Mobile, is I hadn't seen this message in the marketplace until this past week with the Wall Street Journal, where we actually have that very slide on the bottom of the page showing the exact same information. Don't tell me that's not exciting. Because now we're telling people, guys, we're leading the pack, because that's who T-Mobile is. We're a leader. We're the first to BlackBerry with voice. Seems like forever ago in dog years, but when it's all said and done, it wasn't that long ago. You know, we have first U.S. carrier to offer Wi-Fi calling, a huge differentiating factor for us that separates us from the competition. First Android-powered smartphone. Yes, Android, the operating system that outsells Apple 2-to-1. Yes, you're welcome, Android. Glad we could bring it to the show. First U.S. carrier to offer global corporate access. What does that mean? That means when we all get on a plane after this presentation, we jump on a flight over to France, and Tim approves it, we can get off that plane and have HSPA plus 42 4G service right ready to go. Same service you get right here in Tampa, the same service I had in Atlanta, Georgia this morning. Then we have the first 42 megabits per second device. Okay, that means fast speeds. That's a big deal. We're going to go into that in just a minute. First U.S. carrier to be part of a global free move alliance. What does that mean? It goes back to the countries I talked about, the 224 countries. I'm sorry, 224 active networks, 110 countries. We're allowed to give customers the most affordable rates because of our relationships we have through Deutsche Telekom. And then, the greatest argument of all, the first nationwide 4G network. I'm driving down Atlanta, and I see this big billboard that Verizon has the largest 4G network. Well, everyone thinks that they came out with it first, but no, T-Mobile did. And wait till you see what we're coming out with at the beginning of 2013. One of my favorites. I used to be with AT&T before I came on board with T-Mobile. So I can tell you a lot of things about their customer service, if you want to call it customer service. And the way I felt when I first came on board T-Mobile was like Eddie Murphy's character, Axel Foley in Beverly Hills Cop. Who's seen Beverly Hills Cop? Okay. Do you all recall the scene when he's thrown out of Victor Maitland's window at the very beginning? And he's arrested by the Beverly Hills Police Force. He's thrown in the back of the police car. They're playing the Axel F theme in the background. And all he's doing is looking around and saying, "This is the nicest, cleanest police car I've ever been in my entire life." That's how I felt when I came on board T-Mobile. As a matter of fact, when I started getting customers, I look forward to calling customer care when I'm with them. They're like, "Hey, no, I don't understand this." I don't either. Instead of calling my manager, or "Let me get back to you 3 months from now," hey, let's call business care. 3-way call right there on speaker. And they're seeing the Ritz-Carlton service that we have firsthand. Love it, because then you're telling other people about it. Goes back to the formula we've been talking about. Then, we have 36,000 employees nationwide with one purpose in mind, and that is to help you grow your business. Period. End of story. And what I love is they personally live and work by the values that we post on these walls. I've been in plenty of corporate jobs, and I've seen all the different signs. Everyone puts their values up on the wall. But I'm sorry, I've never heard T-Mobile talk about their values more in my life. I mean, as a matter of fact, I was 2 days on the job. I needed a pen to do a training. And I said, "Could you please let me use a pen?" She said, "Oh, absolutely. I'm T-Mobile. Count on me." I'm like, "Serious?" It's like amazing. And it's real. And I love it because not only do they deliver great customer service, but they deliver these 3 big priorities that we call the challenger strategy. Okay? Now, who all's seen Rocky in the room? I know we've had seen Rocky. Okay, I love Rocky. Here's what I love about it. As you all recall, it's a story about the heavyweight champion of the world, Apollo Creed, who wants to do the patriotic American thing, and he wants to give that boxer out there a chance to fight at the title. Obviously, no one's going to beat the king. No one's going to beat Apollo Creed. And so they get this guy, and they literally pick him because of his name, Rocky Balboa, the Italian stallion. They thought, "Oh, this is going to be good. It's a good PR play." So anyway, we learn middle through the movie, or 3/4 of the movie, he knows he can't win. But is he going in to win? No, he's not going in to win. He's going in to contend because no fighter had ever gone the distance with Creed. And so what he does is he goes in and he does 15 rounds with Apollo Creed and he loses. But at the end of the movie, we know, "You Adrian, I did it!" And then that's what he was so proud of. But then, thank goodness for Rocky too, because he came back and he believed, because he could contend, that now he could be the champion. And he came back and he beat Apollo Creed in 15. And that's what T-Mobile's doing. Same situation. We've proven that we can contend with the bigwigs. We've proven we can contend with Verizon, Sprint, AT&T. And now it's Rocky 2 time, and we're coming out, and we're swinging for the title because we believe we can do it. As a matter of fact, network modernization, we're updating all these sites. We're making sure we have all the brand new equipment, so you're going to have a better voice and data experience. We've got the B2B investment. This is something that's very big for T-Mobile right now. As a matter of fact, we practice what we preach. We're about 2 things that I hear about all the time: emails, phone calls, conference calls. It's all about reducing costs and improving efficiencies. So we're currently developing wireless solutions that are going to help you and your business do the same exact thing: reduce costs, improve efficiencies. And then the brand relaunch, we're talking about the motorcycle, we're talking about the cute girl Carly. Yes, this is all about time to set the record straight. As you notice, she took the pink dress off, and now it's the sleek motorcycle racing suit to prove that we are the fastest out there when it comes to speeds. And, again, time to set the record straight and let people know that we already know we're the best in wireless. Yeah, we know that. We know we're the best in value. But now it's time to prove that we're the champion in wireless. That's right. Yo, Adrian. We're doing it. All right, this is where I believe my competitor likes to tap dance because it takes forever for this slide to turn.
Just click the button on there.
Okay, not a problem. Any questions at this point? While we just take a quick breather and just kind of take in everything we just talked about. Any questions? Okay. Well, obviously we've covered quite a bit of information about where we are. Let's do a look at where we're going. The global advantages piece. We already talked about our trip that we're going to take here very shortly to Paris, France, or wherever we're going to go. And the fact that this is a global standard, this HSPA+. And so anywhere you go throughout the world, you're going to be able to adapt very quickly to what you already have. International T-Mobile brand presence. There's actually 11 T-Mobiles out there in the world today. As a matter of fact, we're the only carrier to be a part of the international network. That's a pretty big deal. Not many people know that. And As a matter of fact, we mentioned earlier with Deutsche Telekom having large infrastructure in U.S., Germany, and in Europe, we have great coverage and great opportunities to give you the experience you need to conduct business. T-Mobile's Wi-Fi calling, I actually had a customer of mine specifically call me from France, Germany, and England just to prove that he can make a free phone call with his Wi-Fi calling. And I loved it because I said, you know what? It's that call that gets me excited because you're proving that our product works. You're proving our service works. I heard the music in the background and someone saying, oh, boulangerie, boulangerie. I thought, this is great. I just wish I was with them. I was so upset. So we can obviously cover business across the pond. This is what we can do nationally. When I was actually talking my first week with a small business manager, she said, how much coverage do you think Verizon has in the U.S.? I don't know, 100. I had no idea because I came from an advertising background. And she said 98. And I said, great. And she said, how about AT&T? I'm not sure. 97. T-Mobile. I said, 85. I don't know. And she said 96. I said, seriously? Well, I've actually told people the same exact thing, and I get responses back. Seriously? They're shocked. They have no idea. And if they don't trust us because we work with T-Mobile, we wear our T-Mobile cap, not a problem. Let's talk to Nielsen. We all know Nielsen. They're a third party. They did a study this year in 2012, and they have proven that T-Mobile's network is actually in the top 2 of 85% of all the U.S. markets out there. All the largest U.S. markets, we're the top 2 in network quality. Not too shabby. Not too bad. And then the 4G network reaches more than 220 million people in 229 markets, and this HSPA Plus 42 covers 184 million people. Now, the question I get is, okay, HSPA Plus, I'm seeing LTE all over the place, from Sprint, AT&T, Verizon. What's the difference? Thank goodness another third party stepped into the picture. PC Magazine. They decided to do a study this year, I believe it was in June, so not too long ago. They tested 30 markets to find out who really had the fastest speeds out there when it was all said and done. Now you're seeing 6 markets here. These are 6 of the 30 that were featured. Exciting news. T-Mobile actually beat out 33% of the market for Verizon. Not too bad. As a matter of fact, I kind of call this the battle of the colas, and this is one of the slides I like to show you in particular, because this shows and proves how we are built for business. So the battle of the colas, you remember that day back in the 80s when they had the blind taste test and they had the Coke and the Pepsi? You're like, okay, the people who thought they were drinking Coke, they uncovered it, they're drinking Pepsi. Same thing. You know, here's our great network, and people are like, oh, this has got to be Verizon because the coverage is so good. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're actually on T-Mobile's network. Yeah. As a matter of fact, the senior editor for PC Magazine, they call us the dark horse. Why? For fast speeds, for the reliable coverage and communication. And they also said for the affordability piece. So that's a big story. And if you think that's exciting, this is pretty fun. I actually always tell people, this is my personal opinion, there's always blessings in the breakup. And so when AT&T and T-Mobile did not go through with their relationship, they actually got $4 billion in cash. Now, how many of you all, I mean seriously, we all have done this. When the lottery gets to be 300, don't tell me we all don't go out and at least buy 5 numbers to give it a running shot. So we go out and we buy our tickets. Do you not take that 300? You probably take off 50% because you know it's going to go to the government anyway. And then you're trying to break down, how am I going to spend $150 million? Well, the thing I was taught when I was a kid is choices are what make champions. And so what I'm encouraged by as a T-Mobile employee is that our company is taking this $4 billion. They're saying, how can we take this $4 billion and use it where it's going to benefit our customers, benefit business? Number 1, network innovation. We've been talking about this all morning. As far as giving that better voice and data experience by modernizing our networks, modernizing the towers, making sure we have all the new equipment that we need to get the job done. Refarming spectrum. Again, we could probably spend another day just on refarming spectrum, but to simplify it, we're going to be able to offer a broader range of services. You probably heard a little thing called the iPhone. Yes, we're going to be able to take the iPhone. We already have 2 million, as a matter of fact, on our network right now. So we can actually take the iPhone and give you the 3G experience that the iPhone is, as opposed to a 2G experience. We're also going to have more opportunities for international roaming, which is a very big benefit for companies that do business over the pond. And then we're launching LTE in 2013. This is the thing I am pumped about, because we're going to leapfrog the competition once again. We're going to be the pioneer and the innovator that I've been talking about. And we're going to take you from 42 megabits per second to, go ahead and buckle your seatbelts, we're going to 200 megabits per second. Your Comcast high-speed internet or wherever you have at home isn't even doing 42 megabits. And they call it the fastest high-speed internet out there. This is going to be doing 200, 5 times, almost 5 times what we're currently doing right now. Any questions? If we take just one more quick breather before we go into the final lap of the presentation. Any questions? Okay. When I was day 2 on the job, a lot of things happened to me on day 2 on the job, by the way. I was talking with a new colleague at the time, and I remember asking, what devices do I need to know inside and out, backwards and forwards, so that way I can make sure that I am doing the best I can on sales? He said, I don't sell phones. I said, I'm sorry? I thought this is T-Mobile. He said, no, I don't sell phones. Well, what do you, okay, fine, what do you sell? I sell solutions. Okay, fine, you got me. What's a solution? And that's where he started telling me about geofencing, GPS tracking, cradle point solutions. He talked about wireless failover, business continuity. He was going off into such deep waters that I was just like, okay, that's a lot to swallow on day 2. But that's what's happening right now. Wireless is truly reshaping how we do business. It's not about cell phones anymore these days. Cell phones are a piece of the puzzle, but all these other solutions that we're doing, as a matter of fact, network backup, I'm very familiar with this because I have a customer named Hal's Steakhouse, greatest steakhouse in all of Atlanta, Georgia. So if you ever come, we're going to make sure Tim treats us to that steak. It's going to be wonderful. You're going to love it. And so anyway, you have the network backup. They had issues where their POS went down, their point of sale system. It went down for 4 hours and they couldn't process any orders. They couldn't process the credit cards. They lost cash. So how do you solve that? We had the answer. They're actually using it right now. As a matter of fact, we outdid their DSL, and the IT guy said, this is ridiculous. Go ahead and buy it right now. I don't need to test it. Love those answers. Mobile user experience. The dual-core processors in your phone today that sit in front of you right now, stronger than the laptops you probably have out there in the office right now. It's not, laptops from yesterday. It's amazing the power that we have in our pockets, with the computers and technology. Then the massive data usage, again, that's what we've been talking about. That's where everything's going, so we have solutions for that. Whether it be hotspots, whether it be Gobi 3000 sticks, data sticks, whatever it is you need, we can actually help you with that. But obviously, as exciting as how wireless is reshaping everything, it brings us challenges too, doesn't it? Absolutely, it brings us challenges. As a matter of fact, the Fortune 500 CIOs that we interviewed for this did a survey to find out, what the classic question, what's keeping you up at night? What's your headache? What's causing you pain? And so what I loved about seeing the answers to this is that for every problem that's up there, T-Mobile already has a solution. We already have it in place. As a matter of fact, overall cost too high. 92% of all CIOs said that. Well, with the overall cost being too high, 80% of all businesses are overspending right now in their wireless. Rarely comes a day that I can't save somebody 35 to 40% with our wireless solutions. Secure corporate information. There's a trend right now called BYOD, which we'll touch on in just a second. And the thing about BYOD is that people are bringing their personal devices, it's called bring your own device, they're bringing their personal devices into the workplace. Well, CIOs are trying to lock those things down. Fortunately, we have partners in place that already do that for you. Devices and or network, not working everywhere you go. Okay, nobody's perfect. Even Verizon's not perfect at that game. So that's obviously the coverage issues. The international roaming rates and data rates, guess what? Deutsche Telekom, parent company, we got you covered. As a matter of fact, we had a new plan that rolled out this August called the Open Europe Plan, and we also have a Global for Business plan. The Open Europe Plan is an unlimited data package for $50 a month. And when I hear what people are spending on data overseas, yeah, you're going to fall in love with this, guaranteed. Increasing data usage, we've already talked about that. But fortunately, we have plans that are going to be unlimited plans for you so that way you don't have to worry about going over your data costs and budgets. As far as the slide here, this speaks for itself, and essentially, it says what we've been talking about all morning long. It recaps the mathematical formula I shared with you earlier. As far as the super fast and reliable 4G network, the complete lineup of cutting-edge devices, what is that? That's the cutting-edge technology piece of the formula. We got the award-winning customer service. Well, that's the value piece, not to mention the cost savings we're able to bring to the table. And then, obviously, that equals the tremendous experience that everyone's having with T-Mobile. The industry-disrupting rate plans, what does that mean? That means whether you're a small business, mid-market, enterprise, or international, we can help you specifically with plans for that. Bring your own device. We mentioned this briefly. The thing about this particular solution is, and this is my personal opinion, I feel like this is kind of the bell-bottom fad. It's going to come in a big wave, and you're going to see it happening all over the place. But just like bell-bottoms went out in a big wave. And we still see bell bombs. I know there's a bell bomb sighting on, you know, what's that TMZ show or something like that. Oh, guess who's wearing bell bombs this week? That's great, but you don't see them around very often. The thing is, going back to the headache of the CIO, he's had a hard time locking down this network. So security is important. Plus, these businesses are already given $100 to $125 in a monthly allowance. Well, we can do a corporate liable plan that's going to be $65. So we're already saving you significantly on each line of service. But if you choose to go that route, the good news is you can rest assured that we have a plan. It's already in place. We have partners set up, whether it be MobileWire, whether it be SOTI, whether it be AirWatch. Reliable partners are going to help you with that solution. And then the thing I want to point out here is that 43% of all businesses right now actually have a security system in place. So what does that mean? That means 57% of businesses out there don't. Are you all on this 57%? Let's think about that. If you are, rest assured we have a plan in place. We can help you. We can take care of that need. This is our last lap on the track. So as we spent the last 20 or so minutes together, we're talking about a couple of different things. Number one, this is our story, and we're very excited about our story, as you can tell. But it doesn't really make a hill of beans difference until you all make it your personal experience. Once you do, I promise you, because I have all my customers do this already, they're so excited about what they're doing. They're excited about what I'm bringing to them, that they're telling everybody about it. And they're becoming my best advertising next to Carly in the motorcycle suit. 36,000 people, 36,000 partners of ours, business employees, here with one common goal in mind, to help you grow your business. And the story, how do we do it? 5-pillar approach. Number one, plan acquisition, solution design. Custom designing the solution is going to meet your exact need and take care of what you need to take care of. The Advantage Employee Program, we're running one of these right now. And not only can your employees have the benefits of T-Mobile service at reduced costs, and so on and so forth, their families can too. It's exciting, trust me, because they told me about that. The implementation teams. We have teams, we have a lady who's our implementation manager. We're going to pretty much bronze her or put her in gold because she is awesome. She takes care of all your headaches. So when you're worried about, oh, I got 75 lines, I got to put all the numbers, and I got to do this and do that. No, you don't. We got it. We got it handled. We have the implementation team that's going to take care of that need for you and remove that headache. And then we got the indoor coverage solution. I've actually come in a situation where it's like, oh, I can't get any coverage in my building. We have cell phone boosters, signal boosters, where we can actually provide those to you. Take care of that need. Eliminate that problem. Partner solutions. We just talked about quite a few just a few slides ago. The training piece. I actually bring sales engineers into my meetings. As a matter of fact, when we decide to move forward, I'm going to bring them in here to make sure that all of your employees are ready, they're prepared, they know how to use this technology to better their business, which is going to better your business. We have the product refresh and disposal. So when you say, oh, you know what, we got rid of all these phones, we're going to lose out on all this money. No, you don't. We have buyback programs. We can actually take care of that for you and make sure that you get every dime you can for your devices. And then we have the support and maintenance, just the overall customer care. And again, going back to Axle F, it's going to be the nicest, refreshing change that you will ever see and experience in your entire life, especially from a wireless perspective. Excuse me. Again, I want to thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today and share our exciting story with you. As a matter of fact, the question I asked you at the beginning, what do you all know about T-Mobile? Hopefully you know a little more about T-Mobile now than you did when we started. And hopefully you all are feeling comfortable enough to want to move forward with us and talk about how we can actually help build your business with our wireless solutions. Any questions? Then let's meet next week and let's get all the decision makers we need to get in the room and let's make it happen. Thank you very much.